What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Hippo Supercoach, and today we've got the round 6 trades. And I know I had a little tanty last night, so apologies for that. Need to pull my head in. This is it's really not that big of a deal when you think about it. We've dropped to 450. Yes, it's annoying. Yes, it could have been better. Yes, my round rank was 56,000. But you know what? There's no point spitting the dummy and giving up. We may as well keep playing, keep trying. I think, there's Sunday night, you see your score and you think maybe 21, 50, 21, or maybe it's looking like 21, 20 now. And then, Tom Stewart gives you 60 on the last day after holding him for 4 weeks and copping a couple of late outs and a 9. So that's frustrating, no doubt. But Head is officially pulled back in and we're back locked in. So let's talk some trades. So plenty to discuss. We're going to look at the most 5 traded in, not in my team. It's Carroll, Flynn, Dacos, Tunstall. I actually don't know about this Tunstall. So he's played 1 game, scored 88. Okay. Could be a good downgrade option. I think Bont, look, that's an ultimate luxury if you can do it. I'm personally going to try and get rookies off the field. So I had a little bit of a play around, as I would, of course. What I'm thinking, I'm going to just play the break-even game. And I know the team's had a shocking week. So you could theoretically make an argument all of these guys are frauds. And besides like Brayshaw, Matt Roberts is the only one in my backline who turned up. Can you believe that? And he was the one that was on the chopping block. Brayshaw, Chera, Gawn, DeConing, probably the only ones that aren't frauds at this point. Connor Rose's bounced back as well. So, look, to be honest, this is the first bad week I've had. Everyone else has copped some bad weeks before that. So I was due, no doubt about it. And I don't necessarily think it means my team's in a bad state. But we're just going to keep playing that long game, keep upgrading, trying to get those rookies off the field. Because, look, we saw what happened this week. If teams committed too much to that defender structure where you can field Trainer and Reed, they're going to be in trouble. Because these guys are no longer fieldable, I don't think. Trainer has to go, I think. 74 break even, and then Connor O'Sullivan as well, 85 break even. So, like I said, we only did the 1 trade last week. Planned a little bit for a tanking round because we didn't upgrade. We could have upgraded, but we didn't. But obviously didn't expect to go that low. 2077 is beyond a joke. Anyway, we'll move on. Round 6 is in the past. Let's look to round 7. So, Connor O'Sullivan out, Trainer out. And I'm thinking Davidson out and we give Reed 1 more week. Reason being is because the guy I want to bring in is the guy I wanted to bring in last week. Just couldn't do it after finding out that Gross was the sub. I was just like, no, I'm not bringing in Gross if he's the sub, which didn't give me the cash to get this guy. So obviously Flynn coming in flex. I think this is a no-brainer pick. Ceiling's way too high. Potential's way too high. And the break-even's really low. So it makes sense to grab Flynn. Now this was annoying because I was so keen on grabbing Tristan Cherry this week at flex. But I think it just doesn't make sense at this point. I know he's bottomed out, but you have to grab Flynn. I think you have to. So yeah. Cherry owners, well done. I think he's going to be really good for the rest of the season, and I think he's going to be comfortably better than Gawn and DeConing. Because his run home is amazing. His hard run's out of the way now. So Matthew Carroll comes in. I think this is a no-brainer pick. He's going to make plenty of coin, and this gives us 570k for a juicy midfielder. Now, looking at the structure, you'll see Cleary on the field. This is what I hope to be my 23rd player out of the 23. So fingers crossed. Obviously, you look at this week and I had some 40s from Primos, Will Ashcroft. It's not always going to work out that way, but just generally, I think you can afford to field Cleary because he shouldn't count in the score. By the way, I think Cleary gets dropped. I really do. Yeah, I think he gets dropped. And I think if he's not dropped, he could definitely be the sub. So look, I think Cleary's a dead rookie. It makes guys like Corey Durden interesting because the rookies have dried up so much, but I just need to get an upgrade in this week. I'm not going 2 weeks without upgrading. I'm just not. So, let's look at some guys we can bring in the mid. Now, I'd love to be able to bring in George Hewitt. That would be amazing. or filter by highest price. So 572 doesn't give us a whole lot of options in that top bracket. But if we go to average, Matt Rousey at M5 is the guy I wanted to bring in last week. Yes, he's had a bad game, but that's literally it. Look at his scores besides that one game. 137, 136, 126, 130. This guy, I think, I don't jinx it, but I think he's the real deal. And we're going to be bringing him in this week. Provided nothing crazy with the teams. Like I said, I wouldn't have minded holding Davidson another week, getting him on the field. But I didn't want to bring in like an Isaac Rankin. I'm keen to have Marriage down at F6 eventually. So I didn't want to bring in another forward and get stuck with a forward. Because if Flynn turns out to be a keeper, which there is a chance, if he averages 114, he's obviously a keeper. But if Flynn turns out to be a keeper, there's a chance I could get stuck with a forward on the bench or a forward in my midfield, which I don't want. So that's why I didn't want to get Rankin or any forward for that matter. I thought about Nick Martin, but I thought, nah. So at this point, we're just going to try and get as many mids as we can. Next week, who do we have to cash in? Look, it's not great. It's probably going to be a double downgrade with Reed or maybe just a single downgrade Reed to a defender rookie. Yeah, or a mid rookie will swing Connor Stone. I think this Connor Stone having DPP is going to be really clutch for our teams. So yeah, because like theoretically, like for that Brisbane guy, that Tunstall, we'll just trade Reed sub Stone up there and bring Tunstall in there, and that could potentially be the only trade for the round. That'll free up 150k in the bank, so I'll have about 170, 160k in the bank, and then could go like a Levi and this is the hard part now. Where does the cash come from? Yeah, look, it's not great. Maybe Levi and Bice. Do you really want to get rid of Bice? I'm not sure. Gee, we need some cash. We're going to run out. So yeah, Tunstall next week for Reed gives us 150k, and then I mean, we shouldn't be thinking 3 weeks in advance the way the team went this week. But, yeah. Look, you know what? I know... Look at my backline. It's 86, 70, 93, 119, 64, 79. Like, backline was shocking. My M2 gave me a 40. Like, the team went really, really bad this week. I think this is as bad as it's going to get. So, yes, it's annoying. Like I said, it's annoying I've dropped some spots. But, look, I'm still higher than majority of the people out there. So... I shouldn't be sulking about it. To everyone that's become a member, thank you for becoming a member, by the way. We will do a video probably on the Wednesday or the Thursday, talk through what I would be looking at with your team. Yeah, look, I still back my ability to trade and stuff. It's just annoying to have a shit week like this. So, yeah, if you are keen on jumping in the members group, we're going to be doing some members-only streams throughout the week as well. So yeah, if you're keen on that, feel free to join up. Let's talk some captain, vice captains this week. I think the immediate one that stands out to me is Max Gawn on Thursday against Nank. I think he'll go nuts. I think he loves playing Richmond as well. Should be a good game actually. Richmond coming up a massive win. Yeah, so 162 and 174 in his last two against Richmond. Pretty scary. And then plays West Coast too, so yeah, wow. I think we'll go Gawn into Brayshaw. Keep it simple. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say. Matt Rao, who does he play? Sydney. Don't think Jordan goes to him. I think Jordan's better match for Noah. Hawthorn play West Coast. If you went on Newcombe, he'd be a good captain option, I'd say. Port play North. If you've jumped on Butters, probably the week to captain him. Look, yes, we're fading Dacos. That's another talking point. We're fading Dacos, but I can't get him in. I don't have a way of getting him in without trading a premium. Plain and simple. And that's the cards we're dealt now, and we just got to live with it. We got to hope he starts getting more attention than what he got this week. I can't believe the lack of attention he got from Brisbane, and the tag that they put on him in the third or fourth lasted about 2 stoppages, and then they thought, you know what, Nick, you're a bit too good. We'll just leave you. We'll just let you do your thing. Drop a 170 right on our dome pieces. So yeah, that was frustrating as a non-owner, and the thing is, everyone had him VC as well, so that's even more frustrating. But we're going to hope Durham goes to him, puts a pretty big clamp on him this week, or Setterfield. Don't think they can match him on the uncontested side of things, but definitely could do a bit at stoppage. So we'll hope for that. I think Bedford really was the perfect matchup for him in round 0. That's why he got clamped so hard. Bedford's a really fast player. Kind of same build as Dacos too. So yeah, it's obviously hindsight, but we should have grabbed Dacos at his bottom 580k. That was really a gold mine picking him for that, I think. But it is what it is. We've got to move on now. And hope Matt Rao can somewhat match him at 558. So Rao, the only reason Rao's so cheap is because he has that 558 in his the 74 in his scores. That leaves his break-even this week, I believe, or his 3-round like break-even thing. And yeah, so this week if he goes 126, he goes up another 22k. He'll be 580. So probably only leaves you with one more week to get him. Look, I think he is capable of averaging 115 to 120. And 110, I would be happy with at that price. Even 105, to be honest, like 558, it's not that bad of a price for someone that's averaging 121. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video, guys. In terms of the bench, yeah, we've got Reed to cash in. Hopefully Carroll can string a few together. Moraes looks dead. Hall looks dead. Camperelli's probably dead. Boyd's dead. Connor Stone, I mean, he's making money, but could take him 23 rounds to make 100k. Dudley, I think, is dead. So big bad Matt Flynn, yeah, he's going to have to... Please don't get dropped, Flynn. I don't think you could drop him after this week. To be fair, though, they played without Draper for that whole last quarter. So Flynn was just Flynn was winning every hit out to advantage. So don't expect 140s from him every week. But I think we can expect tons. He went like 90 against Wits or something, or 80 against Wits. So yeah, that's as hard as of a matchup as it's going to get for big bad Matty Flynn. I thought it was really stiff to get dropped. Now I think about it, like he's playing against the hardest ruck against in the comp. Like, yes, he got smashed in the hitouts, but come on, man. Like, you backed him in, give him a bit more of a chance of one game. But I think they saw enough with him this week. If he gets dropped, well then, fuck me. If Flynn gets dropped, what I would do is I would just bring in Cherry instead and go early on Tunstall or something like that. But I hope Flynn doesn't get dropped. He'll be a good cash cow for sure. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Apologies for the depressing round review, but yeah, sometimes it's hard not to be disappointed in this game. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.